Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just What I Am playing Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we did some Crystal Tower shenanigans. Today we're going to go and do even more. Starting off with our good old raid. I'm going to be playing this one as a ninja. Which I also forgot. Oh well. I bid you welcome to the Syrcus Tower. Another place that I have seen one too many times, same as the lab. But this one is less tedious than lab. Labyrinth of the Ancient is that. That's like the abbreviation of Labyrinth of the Ancient. I just call it a lab. Alright. Off we go. Right. Bum 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 bum. Forgot how much I like my ninja glam. Also, this is the raid where you get the weirdest gear. By the way. Just go into that and then hide. Put down my Doton and blast them with fire. Yeah, just a whole pile of enemies. Some of them cleave. It's very difficult to figure out what all these enemies initially do. I think, yeah, the big snakes cleave. Yellow dragon does rate-wide damage every now and again. Aside from that, just a lot of ads. And the occasional dragon breath. Somebody left the party. They probably disconnected. Yeah, they disconnected, yeah. Rip. Healer teleports on me. First boss. Skilla. Or Skilla? I don't know. This thing. So, let me tell you a thing or two about this boss. This boss has a lot to it. So, every now and again she does topple. And at some point, people are about to get tethered. Like me! Yay! It's actually really nice. So, this tether is going to tether me to like a little lightning ball thing. Which you need to go and bring to one of 3 locations. There's one all the way back there and one all the way back there. Once 3 orbs have gone into one, then that thing is done, basically. And then we won't have to deal with certain AoEs. If you don't bring them away in time, they will blow up and hit you with Shudder, which is just rate-wide damage for everybody. So those lines over there would basically not exist if the towers are activated, as far as I'm aware. Alright, another thing. People will get marked with these little slightly blue lines with ice strings following them. They will get frozen when they get hit. And then people with fire orbs will get tethered. Guide the fire orbs into the people who are frozen and you'll be able to unfreeze them. Then it will also turn into a pile of water. Which can be used later on. If somebody gets frozen in a pile of water, the entire group that is in that pile of water gets frozen too. And if somebody gets hit with a fire orb in this puddle, the puddle will evaporate. So standing in a puddle allows you to take less damage from that big move. Ancient Flare. As you can see, everything is going perfectly according to plan and nobody has died ever. This is Another one of those fights that people just don't really know, so they just do random crap. And they die. And get other people killed. But in the end, it's fine. Also, I think the item level for this place is... Yep, it's 100, so it's an improvement. It's, yeah, the stats are an improvement, but the looks are not. I hope that I can get some aiming stuff, actually, for my bard. Otherwise... Actually, no, my bard has high enough item level. That's fine. No, 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 please. Let me do this. Okay. I guess I'll put my Doton over here somewhere. And hope that they will see the Doton puddle and be like, ooh, damage. Yes. These big boys, they do cleave, so... If you're unlucky and you get cleaved by all three of them at once, you will probably die as DPS. Green dragon. Just a big old dragon. And then also Doga's clones. So we get to deal with even more of those clones. People tend to forget about these ads too. There's gonna be a set of Une's clones and a set of Doga's clones spawning. And that's it. They can use some relatively nasty moves. They have Drain and Break. Break petrifies people, and Drain drains your health, but I think it does a pretty sizable amount of damage too. But I do not really remember the Drain one. I know that know that Break is really nasty, because it petrifies you. Alright, next encounter, which I do not know anything about. You will see in a moment why this is a fight that I just don't really know anything about. So this guy can cleave, so standing in front of him is once again not that good of an idea. Aside from that, every now and again he does an AoE, or a couple of AoEs like this one. At some point he's going to activate the support protocols, which do something. They charge this boss. However, if you stand in those like little puddles of theirs, you will not be able to move. And that is everything that I know about it. This boss does not survive long enough, not anywhere near long enough, to actually be able to show off what it can do. Because of the entire item level difference. And there you go. He's already dead. Hey, we have Phlegethon's gear. And some healing stuffs. Right, next encounter. If you are fast enough with killing these 3 ads, then you won't have to deal with an extended encounter. If you're not fast enough, then you will have to deal with an extended encounter. Which seems to be happening. Somebody's gonna get marked with the green icon, which I saw for a second, and then the dragon's gonna do a swoop in on that direction. If you can kill these enemies before the dragon reappears, then you can avoid another one of his dashes. Then he will instantly just go to the middle and actually fight you. It's just a dragon and 2 other ads, and that is all. The dragon does do just like random line AoEs. That was a sneeze. There we go. He's dead. And then we get to deal with the man, the myth, the legend himself. Amon. He also does a cleave, with in the form of coloratura or something. Bezaga Forte, and area around him. Then at some point he's going to start spawning little ads. Experimental byproducts. If they reach Amon, they're either going to silence everybody or they're going to pacify everybody. Oh fuck, Jesus Christ. I did not follow my own advice. At some point people will get tethered again. You can aim these tethers into enemies and it will actually make them mini. Which means that they take a lot more damage. The Kumkums, yep, amazing enemy name. The Kumkums also do cleave attacks. So that can also, like, if it adds up, it's definitely gonna kill you. Or if you're low item level like me. As you can see, there's half my health gone right there. One of the slimes reached the center, which made it so that we took... that all of us took a silence debuff. I'm also dying. Sandaga Forte, which I don't think I've ever seen before. There's also... Oh my god, there's also debuffs. This one's over here. Chemical Bomb, which make you blow up, and people should dispel them. The healers. At some point people will get turned into frogs. You can unfreeze these people, but there's not really that much point to it. In my humble opinion. And they will also get chased by these snakes, and these snakes do a lot of damage, so kill them. That's what I'm thinking. At some point he's gonna start casting Curtain Call. Which will be a one-shot unless if you're behind the ice pillars. Like those people over there. They're dead. Once again, if the pillar is inside the boss's hitbox, not particularly the best situation. So I also usually don't really trust those. And that is the end of Amon. Right. Hey, cool, I'm not gonna get a single freaking piece of ninja gear. Let me go and check some of these things out, actually. Although I think the cutscene is gonna pop in a moment. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to. Let me check out this robe. This robe is bonkers. It's based off, Scylla. There's also Amon gear that you can get, which is pretty snazzy looking. You fight valiantly, mortals, but to no avail. As you can see, people are already fighting the boss, although I'm still watching the cutscene, but I don't give a shit. Absolute darkness draws nigh. Soon. It will be unleashed, and some other words that I didn't get the time to read. Hey, would you look at that? So... I need to go and get Hotan going. Aura Cannon, aka the Kamehameha Wave. For this particular mechanic, everybody needs to stand in at least one of these. Otherwise, everybody is going to take increased damage. Just a lot of rage white, really. At some point, he will be a big ol' asshole and disappear, making me lose my mudra. And then make these things appear. Starfall Circle and Stonefall Circle, which are slowly but surely calling meteors down to murder us. So it's just a DPS check. Because of the item level, once again, not at all challenging, so... And then this. Lots of freaking stack markers. You can stack them all up, it doesn't really matter too much with 24 people. What you do want, however, is to stay in this levitation thing. Stay on this thing. It's gonna do Ancient Quagga. And if you're not on this thing... Anybody not on the thing? I don't know. No, it doesn't really seem like it. You will die in any case. It will most likely result in a one-shot. And I think we've just about seen everything on this boss, really. There's not much else to it. It does have some type of a tank buster though, too. So this guy, if you're tanking this guy, he can hit relatively hard, I would say. Compared to the rest of the... compared to... well, I guess all of them can hit kind of hard. Anyway, he's done. As we get life as a Syrcus. Well, hey. Syrcus Tower complete. With this awesome view. Let's see. I don't need that. Hey, look at that. There's actually something I can roll on. Nicer. And the Wind Up Onion Knights. So there's a... Okay, no, I seem I only have to roll against my own party. Okay. Well, there you go. Then. You did it, you defeated Emperor Zant. Empires may rise and fall, but man's indefatigable spirit ever lives on. Truly, you are a champion we had hoped for, Linda. With Emperor Zant now at eternal rest, his dark legacy may be undone. What are you playing at now, Nero? In case you haven't noticed, Garland, these are dangerous surrounds. Can a man be faulted for exercising due caution? At any rate, you needn't mind me. I'm perfectly capable of looking after myself. Go on and finish what you came to do. There are two ways that we may seal off Syrcus Tower. Either isolate it from the outside world, or cripple its ability to produce energy. The method of choice is yours to make. Before you proceed, however, Doga and I must needs attend to a task. That distortion, what is it? The power that Zand sought to obtain comes from the void. The world of darkness, our people called it. And the true nature of that power was none other than the armies of Voidsent. Voidsent feed on ether, as you may already know, and no plane is richer in it than ours. In exchange for that allegiance, Zand entered in an unholy covenant. He would open a gate through which the Voidsent could freely enter our world. The covenant, I'm afraid to say, is still in effect. However, being of the Emperor's lineage, Une and I believe we can annul it. By his blood, Zand sealed his dark pact. By our blood, it shall be undone. It is time. Yes, Toga. Finally, we may fulfill our purpose. Ha 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 ha. He's going nuts. Oh, be still, my beating heart. For a moment I feared that this outing would end in disappointment, but my readings were not mistaken. Not even the Ultima weapon compares to this. What are you going on about? The Covenant is everlasting. And so Mericidio is brought into the fold. Soon all the world shall be united under Allagan rule. And yet with every dream that becomes reality, the memory of death grows ever more vivid. An endless void bereft of light and warmth. Though I may have defeated death, it did not leave me unscathed. Nay, its ravening claws have scarred my soul for eternity. Never shall I know peace. Beings without will, you cannot fathom my rage, my melancholy, my fear. What worth is wealth and power when all must eventually be consigned to nothingness? If man has nothing, he need not know the pain of loss. So let there be nothing. Harvest more power that the gate may be thrown full open. Let the cloud of darkness come and engulf the world, devouring all life, hopes and dreams. Let all be returned to nothingness. Then pull yourself together. Is there no end to them? What in the seven hells is happening? Ah, not now, damn it. Narrow. Were they part of your grand plan too? Yeah. Save your japes, Garland. I didn't put up with your arrogant face to play with worthless clones. Something controls them. A void scent, and no ordinary one at that. Doga! Confound it. Without them, there's no way to master the darkness. That power is mine. Nero! The Covenant shall be honored. I am the cloud of darkness. I shall devour your light and return this world to the void. Damn it. The rift is gone. What are we supposed to do now? As much as it pains me to leave without them, there's precious little we can do. Let us return to the Find and consult Rambros. Right. Let me go and teleport to Revenant Stall for a moment, because for the next one we are going to be playing my Bard. And I need to go and equip new gear and apply my Glamour again. Boop. Gear. Ah, shit. Let's go and get my Bard Glam. There it is. Right. However, I don't have a good bow, though. But I'm still at level 120, so that's good enough. I guess. How many do I have? I have more tomes. Yeah, I do. Let me go and just buy a better bow then. Guess why not? Over here, Ironworks gear. Level 130 bow. Balls. I'm missing 55 tons. Alright. No bow for me then. Totally forgot that that is 600 tomestones. Super sad. Also we got these two things over here. And also the Phlegethon gauntlets, which look pretty decent actually. But the rest of the Phlegethon gear is kinda eh. TBH. I forgot to block the chat again. Son of a bitch. All this happened within the tower. God's preserve. The rift that manifested before the throne was a void gate. Of this I am certain. There exist myriad kinds of void scent. The more powerful the being, the larger the gate must be for it to pass through. It would seem that Zan sought to open a rift of unprecedented proportions, one that would allow this cloud of darkness an entry into our world. Fortunately for all mankind, it did not succeed. I shudder to imagine what this void scent is capable of. However dreadful it may be, we can't abandon our friends. Is there no way to save them? I will not lie to you, Master Garland, the situation is bleak. Though void scent can enter our world, instances of men entering the void have never been documented. It pains me to give voice to my fears, but we do not know whether our friends still live. Damn it, I feel so helpless. No, I refuse to give up. We must save Doga and Une. We share the same eye, 'tis true, but that is not what motivates me. Above all, I wish to help them to fulfill their mission. A mission whose burdens they have borne for thousands of years. And besides, we cannot leave matters as they are. So long as Zandstar Covenant is binding, our world is in danger. It is our duty to prevent the worst from coming to pass. Graha, ever since meeting Une and Doga, you have not been quite yourself. Tell me true, is all well with your eye? I honestly cannot say. I know only that there is a memory that I must recall. As a child, my father taught me that the truth of our eye rests with Alec. The answers elude me still, but one day I will find it. I am with Groha. However slim the odds, we must try to save Unai and Doga. Aye, and that bastard Nero as well. If only to make certain that he won't make any more mischief. You have the right of it, though we have known them but briefly. Doga and Unai are our comrades. We cannot fail them. I shall consult experts and literature of both. I swear to leave no stone unturned. Yet know that it may be a while before we are ready to act. I would ask that you all be patient. When dealing with the void, one cannot be cautious enough. My thanks again for your assistance. Pray rest now while you can, for when the time comes to go after our friends, you must be at no less than full strength. We'll save them yet, Lyn. Mark my words. Wahey. Also, I need to take a look at something. Bum bum. Alright. I'm back, Rambros. Okay, I never left. Ah, Lyn, it is good you are calm. I have news you must be made aware of. Alas, none of it bodes well for us, nor for Unai, Doga, and Nero imprisoned in the Dark Realm. Think back upon our last foray into Syrcus Tower, if you will. The calamity stirred the place from its long slumber and awoke Emperor Zant, but you, Lyn, you ensured he was laid to rest permanently. Yet the Emperor had sealed a binding covenant with the terrible void sent known as a Cloud of Darkness. Even as Doga and Unai labored to annul this contract, the entity reached out through a rift and dragged the pair of them and Nero out of our realm. Since that day, Noah has devoted itself to rescuing Unai, Doga, and Nero from beyond the rift. Our research, however, has exposed a far more dire problem. The Crystal Tower still acts upon Emperor Zant's orders and collects energy to open another void gate even as we speak. Indeed, the place nigh hums with energy. We have done all we can to stop the Imperial edicts, but to no avail. Just as the gate would open only for Unai and Doga, so too will the tower heat only those with the royal blood of Alec. It is a most galling design, granted. This was not always so vexatious, according to the elegant tombstone they represented us. During the golden age of Alec, the royalty had some means of bestowing their blood upon others. If they hadn't such a technology, Aemon and his underlings could never have controlled the Crystal Tower. But we do not have either this art or any with royal blood. Every moment we wait, a vast rift through which the Cloud of Darkness can enter our realm threatens to open. Such a disaster cannot be allowed to come to pass. We must seal the Crystal Tower and annul Zant's covenant with the Dark Realm. If only breaking the ladder would suffice, but then, what of the energy building in the Crystal Tower? Without suppression, that power could discharge and cause a calamity like to the one that destroyed Alec. In truth, we have no more than just 3 lost compatriots to worry about. If we do not act, our very world will fall before the might of this threat. We know but one way out of this predicament: rescue those who can control the tower from beyond the Dark Realm and seal the rift shut after them. And mercifully, not all our news is quite so bleak. 'Tis true we cannot stop the Void Gate from manifesting within the tower, but this can be to our benefit. We can use Syrcus's power for our own purposes, and create a portal to carry us into the Dark Realm. We have heard this is possible from a man of the Thaumaturge's Guild, well versed in otherworldly matters. And with Master Garland working to create said portal, the final preparations are well underway. Ah, and here comes the man himself. Lyn, just the woman we need. Yes, our fellowship is indeed complete, and all parties privy to our strategy. And you, Master Garland, how fare your endeavours? Quite well, the device is nearly ready, though attaching the damnable thing to Syrcus Tower took every ounce of ingenuity the Ironworks has got. But it should produce the energy we need. With just a little more fine-tuning, we can open a rift. I'm here to request your presence at the tower. I'll leave Biggs and Wedge at the 8 Sentinels as guides, and do hurry, Lyn. I'm sure you wouldn't miss another chance to save the world, would you? Well, Sid certainly seems to have a firm hand on the helm. Shall we make our way to the Crystal Tower? My friends, this will be a long episode. Because I think I'm going to be able to beat the Crystal Tower, or in any case, enter it, in a pretty fast time, so... I thought there would be a lot more story stuff in between, but no. We're going to go over there and that's going to unlock the Crystal Tower. Again. Like the World of Dark. The WOD, as they say, World of Darkness. The silence before the storm. Although now I'm becoming well, it depends on how long this cutscene is gonna take. That's gonna determine whether or not this is going to be the end of the episode, or if I'm gonna do the raid. But I think the raid's gonna take some time, and there's some story after it, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do it. Well, anyway. Lynn, I'll bet you're here to watch us pry open a rift between worlds, eh? We're almost ready. Syrcus Tower is full of engineers scurrying around and making judgments. We're dealing with a lot of power, and if a single coupling's off, well, boom. But it should be fine, really. Anyway, you'd best wait at the top. The chief's there overseeing the whole operation. Oh hey, my twin is over there. My main character's twin. He looks a lot like my character. It's ridiculous. My friends, you've arrived. I'm just waiting for my engineers to give the signal. Then we'll see if we can't open a gateway to another world. Is something amiss, Groha? Ah, Emperor Zan's throne. How the mighty have fallen, eh? Once it stood as a symbol of Alec's art and power. Now it's nothing more than an empty chair. Just imagine if Allegan civilization had lived on, and a just emperor sat on the throne. How different would our history be? How much farther would we have advanced? Ugh. Unfortunately, there was no stopping Zand and his ambition. There were those who tried. Zand's war of Dominion left no one unscathed. Unable to abide the horrors inflicted upon the people, warriors, young and brave, took up the sword against Alec. These men and women became as beacons of hope to those who had suffered, not unlike the warriors of light in our age. But all this merely hastened to destruction. Just as they moved towards Alec's heart for the kill, Zand lashed out in anger and frustration, as trapped beasts are wont to do. In his desperation, Zand desired that a great rift be opened to hasten the cloud of darkness's coming. To this end, he commanded the sun's power held within Dalamut be emptied into Syrcus Tower at once. The act bore terrible consequences. The tower only withstood the blast by flooding the land below with energy. Syrcus was swallowed by the very earth upon which it once stood. The forced umbral calamity had learned of its cause from Une and Doga. I had no idea that rebellion incited Zand to rashness, though. Your knowledge of Allegan history is astounding, Graha. Why, a man could study for 2 lifetimes and only learn half of what you know. Mayhap. 'Tis strange, though. I cannot seem to remember where I learned such things. Yes? Ah, Biggs. Are you ready? Ready and raring to open up that void gate, Chief. You reckon when this machine's up and running, she'll be able to float 5 airships the size of the Agris, so just give us the word and we'll start channeling energy into the tower. Good. Now let's get started. Our preparations are complete. Everyone step away from the throne. Alright, let's see what this machine can do. Now, Biggs. Ah, a rift to the world of darkness, as Une called it. Splendid work, Master Garland. We can't break out of Mead just yet. The tough part's still ahead. We've broken into the Dark Realm, but the gate's not all that stable. It won't stay open forever, and only a few can use it. I, for one, will remain here to ensure the Void Gate stays open. As will the Sons of St. Koinak, this rift is our sole path to salvation. If it closes, we are all truly lost. Which leaves Lynn, my friend. There's a heavy burden I must ask you with, but there are none more able. Pray lead the adventurers beyond the rift. I do not know what awaits you, save the cloud of darkness and our 3 comrades, but you must go, for the fate of our world now rests upon your shoulders. This is our only gambit, but I have every faith you will succeed. It will be no small feat to return after you have passed beyond the rift. Make certain you are prepared before leaving. Might have a moment of your time, Lynn. There is a matter of import we must needs discuss ere you leave. Okay, yeah, the World of Darkness is definitely going to be a thing for next episode. Then, I wish to speak to you about my eye. As you are no doubt aware, 'tis a trait only seen amongst Allegan royalty. Long I have pondered why such is my inheritance. The sanguine hue must have some bearing, I'm having burp stuff, upon my destiny. This much Doga himself admitted, but what? In truth, the more I learn of the Crystal Tower, the less I am myself. Somehow meeting those 2 clones has wrought great change in me. I am consumed with remembering. Something ancient, but ever so important. And my father's words echo in my mind, the selfsame ones his father told him. The truth of our eye rests with Alec. Mayhap what I wish to remember and these words are related. Mayhap not, but I know I must learn the truth that history hides from me. I would see this journey, our journey, through to the very end with my own 2 eyes. So I implore you, allow me to join you beyond the rift. You have my thanks, my friend. Now, let us venture into the world of darkness, to save our comrade and our realm. The world of darkness is now accessible. So, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Just Fed where I was playing Final Fantasy XIV, and next episode we are gonna go and do the world of darkness. Goodbye.